Hello friends, this is Ashutosh Bajpai, and today I will discuss with a new topic, and today's topic is article. What is article? Articles plays a very important role in ensuring that we speak and write correct English. Wrong articles can sometimes lead to change in the meaning of the word altogether. Use of some articles depend strictly on the sound produced by them. Means sound plays a very important role. Okay, the family of article has only three members. First is a, then an, after that the. However, they fall under two groups. First one is definite article, and next one is indefinite article. That is known as definite article, whereas a and are known as indefinite article. Okay, now what's the use of indefinite articles? A, as I told you, like a and and are known as indefinite articles. So here is the first rule, like all singular common nouns beginning with a consonant, we use a before the particular nouns. For example, a boy sings a song, and the second example is a black and a white cow were grazing in the field. So here is a boy. Boy is what? Boy is a singular common noun. I'm talking about a one boy, right? It's a singular first thing, and the another thing is what? It's a common noun. I'm not talking about a particular boy, like I'm not talking about a Ram, Shyam, or anybody. Okay, I'm talking about a singular common noun. So whenever you get a singular common noun, then blindly we can use a before that. Next one is what? Next one is if a word begins with a vowel but gives the sound of consonant in Hindi alphabets, a should be used before that. How in Hindi alphabets? I'll explain. He was helped in his work by a European. This was the example. The second example is he is a one-eyed man, and the last one is it is a useful work. So first go with the first example. He was helped in his work by a European. Here, European, the spelling of Europeans begin with E. E is what? In English alphabet, E is a vowel. But we will not use an here because, as I mentioned, we'll go with Hindi alphabets because European sounds begin with Ya. In Hindi alphabet, Ya is consonant. That's why A is used here. In the same way, in the second example, he is a one-eyed man. So we used a before one because one produced the sound of wa, and wa in Hindi alphabet is a consonant. And same way in the last one, it is a useful verb. Again, useful produces the sound of ya, that's why a is here. I hope that is clear. Next, a is used in its numerical sense of one. One means number one. Here is the example: 12 inches make a foot. Means 12 inches make a foot. A foot means article A denotes number 1. Article A has its numerical sense. That's why we use here A. Like whenever we get the numerical sense of number 1, we use article A. Same thing happened with second example. Not a word was spoken, means not even a word. One word was spoken. Number 1, one word was spoken. Second example, A is used in the vague sense of certainty. Before I go any further, I would like to define the word vague. What does it mean vague? It doesn't mean like whenever we're sure about something, then we use uh, article A. No, vague sense. When something or somebody is ill-defined, means we're not sure about the particular thing or person, we use article A. For example, Mr. Kapoor came here for a loan. Like somebody called Mr. Kapoor came here for loan. I don't know about him. Who is he? I know only his name. Like somebody named Mr. Kapoor came here for a loan. In the same way, uh, second example, I met a Mr. Das in the market. Like I was visiting to the market, or I was walking to the market for shopping and all, and I met there somebody named Mr. Das. Clear? So when there is a vague sense of certainty, we use article A. Now use of indefinite articles and all similar common nouns beginning with vowel, we use and before that. Vowel, how many vowels are there in English? 5. A, E, I, O and U. For example, he is an artist. He is an old man. And third one is I intend to buy an umbrella. But here again we have to remember what? We have to remember the previous rule, as I told you, the Hindi alphabets rule. Clear? I'll explain in Hindi what we have to do. We have to follow the Hindi sounds of the word, not with English alphabets. Clear? Like he is an artist. Artist क्या कर रहा है? Artist आ का sound दे रहा है, बड़ा आ. Clear? बड़ा आ, बड़ा आ क्या होता है? बड़ा आ वॉवल है एक, ठीक है, कॉन्सोनेंट नहीं है. इसलिए हम जहाँ पे क्या होगा, हिंदी साउंड आएगा, तो हिंदी साउंड के अकॉर्डिंग हम अपना आर्टिकल यूज़ करेंगे. ठीक है. अगर हमारा आर्टिकल जो वर्ड लिखा हुआ है वो किसका साउंड दे रहा है, वो कॉन्सोनेंट का साउंड दे रहा है हिंदी अल्फ़ाबेट्स में, तो उसके उसके पहले हम एन नहीं लगाएंगे. अगर वो कॉन्सोनेंट का साउंड दे रहा है तो ए लगाएंगे. गिवन यू द एग्जांपल, लाइक यूरोपियन, यूरोपियंस किससे शुरू हो रहा है? ई से शुरू हो रहा है. और इंग्लिश में क्या होता है? ई वॉवल होता है, बट जब उसको पढ़ते हैं, प्रोनाउंस करते हैं, साउंड करते हैं यूरोपियन, तो क्या आता है? यूरोपियन में या का साउंड आता है. और या हिंदी अल्फ़ाबेट में क्या होता है? या हिंदी अल्फ़ाबेट में एक कॉन्सोनेंट होता है. ठीक है. इसलिए हम क्या करेंगे? यूरोपियन के पहले ए यूज़ करेंगे. सो एक चीज़ हमें माइंड पे रखनी है अपने, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज़ है कि सारे रूल्स लिखे हुए हैं. लाइक सी रीड द नेक्स्ट वन. इफ अ वर्ड स्टार्ट्स विद अ कॉन्सोनेंट बट गिव्स द साउंड ऑफ वॉवल, and should be used before it. And the example is Jayant is an honorable man. He is an LLB. Okay, and the next one is if a word begins with H and not accented on the first syllable, an is used. And example is this is an historical novel. So जितने भी एग्जाम्पल लिखे हैं वे सारे सेम रूल पे फॉलो करेंगे. हमें हिंदी के साउंड के थ्रू जाना है, हमें इंग्लिश के साउंड के थ्रू नहीं जाना है. एग्जाम्पल ही इज़ एन एल एल बी. एल एल बी तो एल से बिगिन हो रहा है, लेकिन इसके आगे हमने क्या किया है? एन को यूज़ किया है. जबकि हमें क्या करना चाहिए था? ए को यूज़ करना चाहिए था, क्योंकि हमें यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है ऊपर कि वावल के साथ ही हम केवल यूज़ करते हैं. लेकिन नहीं, ऐसा नहीं होगा, क्योंकि एल एल बी जो साउंड किसका दे रहा है? ए का साउंड दे रहा है. और ए क्या होता है हिंदी अल्फ़ाबेट में? वावल होता है. इसलिए हमने इससे पहले एन को यूज़ किया. क्लियर? So this is a very simple one. I believe that now you will not get confused. ठीक है. केवल बस एक ही चीज़ माइंड में रखनी है, हमें हिंदी साउंड्स, हमें हिंदी अल्फ़ाबेट्स के थ्रू जाना है. आ ई उ ए. ठीक है. हमें ए ई आई ओ यू के थ्रू नहीं जाना है. अगर कोई भी इंग्लिश का वर्ड है, बिगिन कर रहा है वो हमारे वॉवल से, लेकिन वो साउंड किसका दे रहा है? हिंदी में वो कॉन्सोनेंट का साउंड दे रहा है, तो हम ए लगाएंगे, एन का यूज़ नहीं करेंगे. ठीक है. क्योंकि हम जानते हैं, हमारे पास रूल लिखा हुआ है कि वॉवल के पहले हम एन लगाते हैं और कॉन्सोनेंट के पहले हम ए लगाते हैं. बट वॉवल साउंड के पहले, आई विल करेक्ट इट, वॉवल साउंड के पहले हम एन लगाते हैं. और वो वॉवल साउंड कहाँ से होना चाहिए? वो वॉवल साउंड हिंदी अल्फ़ाबेट से होना चाहिए. ठीक है. इंग्लिश अल्फ़ाबेट से नहीं होना चाहिए. Use of definite articles. The is definite article. So definitely we will use the when things are definite. Read the first rule. The is used before superlative degree. Superlative degree means indirectly we can say the third form of the verb. I will discuss about the degrees in the separate topic. So but just for the remembrance, we have to just keep in mind, like wherever we'll get the third form of the verb, okay, we use the. For example, he is the ablest man of the town, and the second one is honesty is the best policy. So keep this thing in mind. The is used before superlative degree. Next, the name of states, countries having a descriptive name. Like the countries having a descriptive name, we will use the before those countries, before those states. For example, the Punjab is a small state. And the second one is he lives in the USA. Okay, why Punjab has a descriptive name? Because Punjab, the meaning of Punjab, the land of five rivers. Clear in Hindi, पांच नदियों का राज्य. That is Punjab. So Punjab has a descriptive name. That's why before the descriptive name we use the. We cannot say like this: the Delhi, the Kanpur, the Lucknow, okay, the London. No, we cannot, because they other cities uh, they don't have the descriptive name. And next example uh, goes to the country. Yes, he lives in the USA. USA. USA has a descriptive name. Has it? No, USA doesn't. But I forgot to write here one thing. Like whenever any country begins with the word United, that country, before the name of that particular country, we use article the. There are three countries in the world at present: United States of America, clear, and United Kingdom, and United Arab Emirates. These are the three famous countries. So whenever we get United before any country, then we use what? We use the. We will have to use the before those names, before the word United. The last one, the name of scriptures. Scripture means holy books. Clear? A particular book belongs to a particular religion. For example, Ramayana, Quran, Bible, etc. These are the what? These are the scriptures. These are the holy books. So before these holy books, we have to always use article the, definite article the. Example: the Gita is a holy book. Gita is what? Gita is a holy book. Gita is a scripture. That's why we used the here. Before the names of newspaper, like before the names of newspaper, we use article the. For example, the Tribune, the Hindustan Times, the Hindu, the Pioneer, the Dainik Jagran, the Amar Ujala. Let's take the example. The Tribune is published from Chandigarh. The Hindustan Times is a well-known newspaper. Wherever we get the name of any newspaper, we have to use article the. We have to use definite article the before the name of newspapers. Next rule: name of rivers, canals, seas, oceans, bays, gulf, groups of islands, etc. So before the names of rivers, we use the. Before the names of canals, before the name of seas, before the names of oceans, bays, gulf, groups of islands, we use article the. For example, Ganges is a holy river. And second example, the Indian Ocean is the deepest ocean. Okay, Ganges is what? Ganges is a river. That's why the before the Ganges. And the Indian Ocean is an ocean. That's why before the Indian Ocean we use the. Next example, the names of famous buildings. The Taj is one of the famous buildings. Whatever the building we get, we use the famous building. Not you, you cannot use the before the building, before your own buildings, before your homes. No, with the famous building, before the name of famous building we have to use the. But remember one thing, here is one exception. A building name begins with the proper noun. We cannot use the before that. For example, the Victoria Terminal, sorry, the Victoria Memorial, okay, the Chhatrapati Sahuji Maharaj terminals, we cannot use. Like another example, the Indira Gandhi Airport. No, we cannot use, because there is an airport. Earlier it was Palam. Before the Palam, we can use the Palam, because Palam is what? Palam is a famous building. We can use that before the Palam. But when uh, any building's name or any famous building's name begin with a proper noun, we cannot use article the. Remember this thing. Our rule says the name of famous building we can use the, but we cannot use the before the name of famous buildings. Those buildings names begin with a proper noun. We use article the before the names of unique things as the sun, the moon. For example, the sun and the moon are lamps of heaven. The earth revolves around the sun. Okay, so we use article the before unique things. The sun, the moon, the Jupiter. Okay, the Mars. These are what? These are the unique things. Unique means the only thing available in the universe. That is unique. Next, titles. Before the titles, we use article the. Akbar the Great was loved his subjects. Next, Alexander the Great conquered the whole world. Clear? So we use the title. We use article the before the titles. For example, one more example, uh, the Iron Man of India. Who is known as Iron Man of India? The Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is known as the Iron Man of India. So Iron Man of India is what? Iron Man of India is a title. That's why we use the article the before the Iron Man. Clear? In the same way, Akbar the Great. Akbar was a king. We cannot use article the before proper noun because Akbar is a proper noun. But yes, we used article the before the title. Akbar the Great. The Great is what? The Great is a title. And next, comparative degree of adjective when there is a sense of proportion. In the case of proportion, the sense of proportion we use the. Example: the deeper the well, the cooler the water. Means here is a proportion. The deeper proportion with the cooler and the well proportion with water. The deeper the well, the cooler the water. Means here if we miss even a one the from the sentence will go wrong. So we cannot eradicate or we cannot remove even a one the from this sentence because if we will do this then we will break the combination of ratio and proportions. Next example is the more one has, the more one wants. Here is the same, the combination of ratio and proportion, so that's why we use the article the before this. With the ordinals, also we use the ordinals. What ordinals? When we pronounce, when we sound the numbers 1, 2, 3, and this way, these are cardinals. And when we say first, second, third, these are what? Ordinals. When we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, these are the cardinals. So we do not use the before cardinals. We use the before ordinals. Ordinals means when we say first, second, third, fourth, or when we write like this in the language first, second, as it's written here in the slide. So with ordinals, before ordinals, we use article the. For example, she was the first to come. First is what? First is ordinal. That's why we use the before the first. Next rule: the is sometimes placed before a common noun to give it the force of abstract noun. Example: the father in him was moved seeing the suffering children. Means whenever the is placed before a common noun, means we use the before the common noun also when common noun is used as abstract noun. Clear? For example, the father in him was moved seeing the suffering children. The father in him means the feelings of father, fatherly feelings. So fatherly feelings is what? Fatherly feelings is abstract noun. So that's why we use the before the father. It doesn't mean like we use the before the father. Father is abstract noun here. The sense of father, the mean of father word here is abstract noun. That's why we use article the. We do not take or we will not take father as a common noun here. Okay, so now we will discuss about do not use article the, where we have to not use article the. First one is before languages. Before the languages, we will not use article the. Either it's English, Hindi, Urdu, Marathi, Uriya, Telugu, whatever the languages, we will not use article the before the languages. Next, before abstract noun. Before the abstract noun, we will not use article the. For example, the honesty is the best policy. So this sentence is incorrect. Why? Because we placed article the before honesty, and honesty is what? Honesty is an abstract noun. Now, here is exception. But when abstract noun is defined, like when abstract noun is defined, the is used. What is the case? Read the example. The honesty shown by him was highly praised. Now here, honesty, we using honesty. We are not using honesty as an abstract noun. Here, we have defined the honesty. We're talking about a particular honesty. The honesty shown by him was highly praised. Clear? So whenever the abstract noun is defined, we we use article the before that. Next, before the name of metals, we will not use article the. We will not use article the before the names of metals. Whatever the metal is, either it's gold, silver, copper, we will not use article the. But yes, again, exception are there. But when metal is defined, when metal is particularized, we will use article the. First, read the example where we will not use. The gold is precious metal. Here we simply talking about the gold. So we will not use article the before gold. So this is the incorrect sentence. The gold is a precious metal. What will be the correct one? The correct one will be gold is a precious metal. We will not use article the before gold. Okay, now example for the exception one. The gold of India is exported to the countries. Now, we are not talking about only gold. We are talking about the gold of India. India ka gold. Okay, because here is what? Gold is particularized. So when any metal is particularized, we will use article the before the metals also. We will not use the before the names of food grains. Whatever the food grains is, we will not use article the. For example, rice is the favorite food of the Bengalis. This is the incorrect sentence. What will be the correct one? Rice is the favorite food of Bengalis. Why we will not use the? Because our rule says we cannot use the before the food grains. Here, again the same thing. But when the name of food grains is attached with the name of a place, a person, that is used. The rice of India, same thing. Here, what happened with the rice? Rice is particular rice. Rice is defined. I'm not talking about only rice as a food grains. No, we are talking about the rice of India. Means whole rice of India is famous. So in this case, we will use article the before the food grains also. Next rule, before the names of meals like lunch, dinner, etc. We will not use the before the names of meals, lunch and dinner. For example, he enjoyed the lunch with his friend. So he enjoyed the lunch. Enjoyed the lunch. This is incorrect one. What will be the correct one? He enjoyed lunch with his friends. Indirectly, you have to keep in your mind like before the meals, we will not use article the. Again the same thing, but when meal is particularized, like the dinner will be held at the Ashoka Hotel. Here is what? Dinner is a special one because now dinner will be held at the Ashoka Hotels. Next example, the lunch hosted by Mr. Sharma was delicious. The lunch hosted by Mr. Sharma was delicious. Here, lunch is what? Lunch is particularized. That's why we used the. Next, uh, before the name of games means we will not use article the before the name of any games. Either it's football, hockey, cricket, or rugby. So example is the football is a popular game, so this will be the what? This will be incorrect sentence. What will be the correct one? Football is a popular game. Means indirectly we have to remember we will not use article the before the name of games. Next example, sorry, next rule. Before collective nouns used in general terms. Means before collective nouns, we will not use article the. For example, the parliament passed the bill. This incorrect one. What will be the correct? Parliament passed the bill. Here are some other collective nouns or common noun. Mankind, parliament, cattle, society, etc. These are the collective nouns. The is not used before a common noun in a plural numbers. Clear? For example, people are happy in our society. People is what? People is a collective noun, a common noun we can say. So we will not use article that before that. Cows love green grass. Cows. Cows is what? Plural one. That's why we will not use article the before the cow. But again, but when they are particularized, the is used. Means when they are definite, we will use definite article the. For example, the people who gathered there are my supporters. Means people is what? Here we are trying to define. We have defined the word people. The people who gathered there are my supporters. Means वो लोग जो वहाँ पे इकट्ठे हुए थे वो क्या है? मेरे दोस्त हैं. Here we have defined the people. That's why we use article the. Now next rule. We will not use article the before the proper noun. For example, the Patna is the capital of Bihar. So Patna is what? Patna is a proper noun. We will not use article the before the proper noun or before the Patna. Next rule. Before a school, college, church, bed, table, hospital, market, prison. When these places when these places are visited for used for their primary purpose, we will not use article the. For example, we go to the church on Sundays. This is incorrect. What will be the correct? We go to church on Sundays. We will not place article the before the church. Why? Because here church is gone by the subject for their particular purpose. Clear? If we will say no, we went to the church or we go to the church to meet somebody, then what will happen? Then church is used by for church is not used by the subject for their primary use. In Hindi, जब ये वर्ड चर्च, मार्केट, हॉस्पिटल इनके प्राइमरी पर्पस के लिए इनको यूज़ ना किया जाए उस कंडीशन पे हम दाल लगाते हैं. अदरवाइज वी विल नॉट यूज़ the. Same thing written here in the English in the notes, like the is used when these words refer to them as definite place, building or object, but activity that goes on there, as I met him at the church. Clear? What is next rule? Next rule is before names of relatives like father, mother, aunt, uncle, we will not use article the. Example, the father wants you to see her. So the father will be incorrect. So what will be the correct sentence? The correct sentence would be father wants you to see her. And next rule, in certain phrases consisting of preposition followed by its object. I would say here are some words. So you have to keep those words, these words in your mind. Like with these words, we never use article the. For example, at home, at work, at university, in church, in hand, in depth, by night, at sunrise, at noon, at night, at sight, on demand, on holiday, in prison, by name, by water, by river, by air, and etc. I mean to say, we cannot say these words like this at the home. This will be incorrect. At the work, at the university. Got it? Okay then. Alright then. It was the slide of articles. If you like this video, then please do not forget to subscribe my channel and share it on your Facebook page. So here is my contact details. you can contact if is there any problem. Else, thanks for watching. Thank you.